Welcome to CSEC Biology TCP. I'm Mr. Wilson from the TCP Academy. You can find us online at tcp-academy.teachable.com. You may also find us on YouTube at CSEC Biology TCP. If you have not yet liked, share, or subscribe, it is definitely time for you to do so. And when you subscribe, please be reminded to click that notification and select all so you'll be notified as soon as there is a new publication. In this publication, we're going to be looking at human and social biology, SBA. Particularly, I'm going to be looking at the questionnaire and the template that we have done here at CSEC Biology TCP, just to have some modification by the students or whomever will be using the questionnaire. But it's very important for the student to understand the design of this questionnaire, as this questionnaire is designed to nicely sit into the mark scheme to make things easier for the students. So let's look at the interpretation of what we have here, and then I'm going to be doing another video on the design of what we have here. So you want to make sure that your questionnaire has a nice title, which is usually descriptive of what you intend to do. It's usually that title that is on the cover page of your SBA. It tells nicely the respondent what is it that you are doing. So that will come at the top here. I'm going to be using my marker just to highlight a couple of things to make things easier for most persons who are still struggling. So I'm going to be using my blue marker here to assist. Now the top area here is going to provide your title. So if you're using this template, you're going to change the title to suit your need. Not to show what you have been given, but you're going to be looking at what you have there as your SBA question, and you're going to make the title fit into that. The next thing you want to have on your questionnaire is, of course, detailed instruction to your respondent as to what they should do. Here we are saying, please place a tick in the boxes, which boxes which closely align with your observation and the questions asked in each section. Now, this questionnaire is particularly divided into 4 parts. The first part looks at your demographic data. Now, the information contained here in the demographic data is not exhaustive. So it means that more could be added. The range could be changed. What I've observed is that for persons who are looking at the range here and redesigning the range, they are giving you a range that are not matching. So they are mismatch range. Like somebody would have for here would be when you do subtract the first from the second part here, you'll be getting 2, then you're getting 5, then you're getting 6, 7, 8, 9, that sort of a thing. You want to make sure that the range, they are pretty much equal, pretty much balanced. So if I were supposed to subtract the start age here, 10 from 20, I'd get 10. 20 from 30, I'd still get 10. 30 from 40, I'd still get 10. Right? When we're capturing the data in the field, a person who is age 10 to 20 is going to be captured in the range at the top. The person who is age 20 to 30 is going to be captured in the range 20 to 30. That means that nobody is left out. The person who is 20 and 1 month is captured in 20 to 30. The person who is 10 to 20 exact, that person is captured in the age range 10 to 20. Here we are trying to figure out whether the person is a male or a female. We could also look at whether the person resides in the particular area. We could look at the family size, because the family size would give us a good idea of the amount of garbage that is generated. I think we're generating about 12 pounds of garbage per day per individual. So this area, the demographic area, is very, very important. Now I'm going to be showing you why this area is important. And so too, I'm going to be showing you the importance of a title. So we're going to look at the mark scheme very quickly. So your title will come from your background. The background information might be given to you by your teacher at observation, or you might have supplied the teacher with what is it that you wanted to research. However, from that, you're going to be getting your background, your title. Now, it's going to provide, it should provide a clear, detailed description of a current health-related or environmental issue. For my students who I'm creating this for, They will be pretty much aware of a background, in that we supply the background, because we want to make sure that there's some amount of consistency in the research, and two, that the research is done and not a research submitted that was done by a student in another school. So we want to safeguard against that, so we make sure we supply this information so as to make sure the integrity of the assessment is maintained. Now, the problem statement, we're going to be getting to that in another video. I really don't want to trouble problem statement and the research objective in this video. What I want to look at, I want to look at the methodology. Now, when you look at your SBA and you look at the demographic data here, when you look at the methodology, you realize that you're going to be needing information from the demographic data to fill in your methodology. For example, sample use. That's going to come in nicely here when we look at the sample over here, being a male and female with an age range, whatever it is here. They reside in the particular area or not. Usually employed, unemployed student, that sort of stuff will be nicely captured in your methodology to give you full marks for that. So for that reason, we have created the questionnaire the way we have. Let's up on back to the questionnaire, and we're going to be moving down to cause. So just 4 questions, because your respondent really want to get out of here very quickly. They really don't want to go reading forever. They just want to answer very short question by ticking. And if they have something to contribute, you make sure you write that either on the back of your questionnaire or where we have other. Now, why we need to have other? Because usually we get into we have a problem to be solved. We usually run to a textbook to solve a problem, when persons who are affected by the problem might very well have the solution. So this questionnaire is designed to get persons' personal response other than those responses that we're going to be feeding to them. So it's very important that we understand from the community, how can we fix your garbage problem? It might not be that there is a real problem in this case with infrequent garbage collection. It could be the day that the truck is coming is just not the right day. So the truck is probably coming on a Sunday and the bulk of the garbage is generated on a Monday. What if we were supposed to have the truck coming on a Tuesday or a Monday evening? Then we would not have had the garbage problem that we're having in a community, as it were, for this particular questionnaire. Now, when you get to cause, you're going to be writing 1 question for this questionnaire. And if you're using this template and these things really don't match what you want to do, you're going to be just changing the options here. Now, I want to speak to what cause is for this particular questionnaire. The cause is supposed to answer to the particular problem that we are having. What led to this problem? So here we are having, what are the causes of infrequent garbage collection? We are supposed to be answering what causes infrequent garbage collection, not the other way around to answer infrequent garbage collection will cause that. That is not what the question is asking. So cause here should tell what led to, or what are some of the reasons, contributing factors that would lead us to a point where we are having this problem. That is what the cause is about. The cause here, for some students, I realize they are answering to effect where the cause is. But the cause is telling us what led us down this road. Why are we having this problem? That is what the cause is supposed to answer. So for here, where we have cause, it is pretty much answering to what really causes infrequent garbage collection. And some persons are saying there are mechanical issues with the truck, so the trucks can't come out on time, and that is causing the infrequent garbage collection. Some persons are saying that there's no truck, and because there's no truck, the 1 or 2 truck that we have to wait on them to be available to come and pick up the garbage. So this is the source of infrequent garbage collection. I am not seeing students answering this particular part of the questionnaire as they should. Now, when we get on down to the effects, now the effects should tell you about the impact of a problem that we are looking at. So here, what are the effects of infrequent garbage collection? Now, we're looking at it in terms of social or health issue, environmental, and economical. Now, when you go back to your Get help with CSEC Biology SBA Labs and Human and Social Biology SBA Labs at tcp-academy.com. Mark scheme, and you move on down to your recommendation, you will realize that this particular information is very, very important. And when you also look at the reflection that you're supposed to write, you're going to realize that this information is very, very important. Now, the cause and the effect, those information are going to come in very handy when we look at here presentation of data. So the questionnaire is designed to fit nicely into the mark scheme. Now, the cause and effect, you would have had that nicely in your presentation of data. And then from your frequency table and graphs, you are going to be now, you will be able to analyze that which you had in the frequency table based on what you collected from the questionnaire. And of course, that would also help you to form a conclusion. Now, the entire questionnaire comes in very handy here that will plug into the mark scheme to make sure you score that 40 out of 40. So effects here, let's look at it. Now, the environmental effects are more likely going to be leading to the health related effects for this particular situation. So if you have rats, then there's a possibility you might have a health problem of leptospirosis. Now, if you have flies, which is an environmental problem, you might have a problem of having dysentery. If you have mosquitoes, you might have a health or environmental issue that is related to chickpea, zickpea, dengue, malaria, that sort of a thing. Now, you want to make sure that you're answering these questions that are pretty much in line with the syllabus for the human and social biology, and not just plugging in just about anything that comes to the mind, or else it wouldn't help you much for your CSEC examination. Now, the environmental ill leading into the health and social ill is going to result in economic problems. So you are going to have loss of income because persons are not going to be able to go to work. You are going to have reduced productivity for the employer because the employer will not be able to produce all that he or she or the company has to produce because persons are falling ill as a result of the environmental and health related issue. Now, this could also cause persons not to want to be a part of your local setting because of the garbage problem that is associated with your setting. So effect is going to tell you how is the area affected as a result, or how the area is impacted as a result of here the infrequent garbage collection. So whatever you are doing, you are going to be looking at this problem, how does it impact the area? That's what is supposed to be answered in effect. Now, when we move on down to recommendation, what is happening here in the recommendation, and again, in all areas we have others because persons might have their own thing that is happening in a particular area that you are not aware of, and you need to ask your respondent, is there any other thing that we have left off here that you'd love to add? Because we want to solve problem with these questionnaire, with these research, we want to solve real life problem. We don't just want to send students out there to waste time. Now, your recommendation is going to be answering to your cause up here, what the cause is, and it's going to be answering to your effects. So your recommendation, it is a standard. And most of these you are going to be seeing recommendation like reuse, reduce, recycle, compost, rethink. Those are going to be generic answers based on what we're doing now with environmental science and what we're doing with HSB and what we're doing with biology, because we want persons to have a new approach to the environmental catastrophe that we are heading towards with persons not taking care of the environment. So here in the recommendation, we want to answer to those things that were presented in the cause and in the effect. Of course, we're not going to be able to answer everything there, but the truth is here we are going to be able to answer most, or to use a broad answer to pretty much fit in most of the things that we would have covered in the cause and the effect. So you're going to be looking at some of the things that were said in the cause, some of the things that were said in the effect, and you're going to be looking at corrective measures to these problems in your recommendation. And again, you want to ask your respondent, is there any other way you can think about which we could correct problems that we identified, or the responses that we identified in the effect, or the responses that we identified in the cause. Now, once you're interpreting the questionnaire like this, and you are plugging in, you're going to be filling out all these area beside these boxes. There's nothing there, but for your questionnaire, you're going to be doing that to make sure that you have the best possible responses from your respondents, so that you can be scoring that 40 out of 40 for the HSB SBA. Now, I recommend that teachers try as much as possible to complete the HSB SBA at grade 10. The last it could be given to them anywhere about February, March, thereabout. And they should be able to complete this before they leave for the summer break, so that there's enough time to correct and to ensure that the students have the best possible mark. We could pretty much modify the way we teach to get to that ecology part of the syllabus, waste management if it were here, disease and so on if it were here, to of course ensure that the students have the best possible resource to pull from in order to carry out the SBA. Until next time, I am Mr. Wilson from CSEC Biology TCP. If you have not yet liked, share, or subscribe, it is definitely time for you to do so. And when you subscribe, please be reminded to click that notification bell and select all. We want you to leave us a comment here. We want you to tell us where you are listening from and which school you attend. Tell us if you're enjoying our product, and if there's any way we could improve it, we wouldn't mind you tell us in the comment so we can do so. As I usually say, remember to study to show thyself approved. Follow for the design of this questionnaire. We're going to be doing it for those students who are struggling with the computer. So we're going to be doing a video that show you exactly how to design a simple questionnaire that fits on one size of an 8.5 or a letter size paper. We really don't want to go to an extra paper, because nobody is going to stand up to answer so many questions. All right, take good care of yourself. Bye now. Get help with CSEC Biology SBA Labs and Human and Social Biology SBA Labs at tcp-academy.com. Tim had questions. He wanted to know where he could get help with his SBA Labs. His parents searched but could not find that experience. Tim also made some calls, however could not find the help he needed. Tim needed an experience he could trust to help him get over the hurdle of SBAs, as success was in sight. He met the guys from tcp-academy.teachable.com and they designed a program to help him. tcp-academy.teachable.com was able to help him. So too, they can help you. Sign up tcp-academy.teachable.com for help with your SBAs in biology and human and social biology.